Hello, my name is Mārtiņš Īviņš. It's like Latvian name in English, Martin, just Martin. I didn't prepare some presentation, but it's because I usually don't present anything. So we are. Background farm. No, I will open another link while I'm talking. But yes, this is exception. Talking to something, explaining about how to do or what to do. That's just because for the Latvian guys, maybe they can learn something and how to do it better than us or than others. Okay, I'll start what we have done. I've been working in internet and internet entertainment and mobile for like 10 years. I started in Latvia with the mobile melodies when, you know, the Nokia phones had like monophonic melodies. We were writing them here, local ones for Latvia, and sold pretty well because other companies sold just foreign melodies. Then I had one interesting business. It's in English it was called lowest price auctions. When you try to sell something for the lowest price, and the participants pay by premium SMSs, and for example, they can get some mobile phone for 50 cents or something. Yeah, and also we were the first in Latvia, and we sold in Latvia. Biggest thing was BMW for about 100 euros. But that business ended somehow, and yes, then we had not quite a game, but we had this type of game, Wanna Be Millionaire, that was popular on TV, and still some countries watch them very, very often, and people like that game. We made some local Latvian game on that prototype, but of course with other name and with other options, and we launched it like in a separate site. It was brain.lv, and yeah, people started to like, and the traffic was growing. And then we made interesting decision. We talked to Draugiem LV guys. At the moment it was like a growing social network, but the hype with the social games hasn't started yet at the moment. And we manually integrated that erudition quiz game into Draugiem LV with the friends list and etc. But they didn't have like open API to do that, and yes, we had to work with the programmers of Draugiem, and yeah, we somehow made that game, and actually it was like first social game in Latvia, I think. And then, of course, the social networks understood that they have to put the games, and yes, and then, as the guys told, there were two popular games in Latvia. That farming game, which was made by us, and the other game about African small nice animals. As Guntis told, yes, the game was pretty popular. We had 30,000 online concurrent users in Latvia. That's pretty much, that's some 1.5% of country was playing simultaneously at one moment the game. Yeah, we got some technical issues too, and had to understand how to manage such traffic, but yeah, we did somehow. And then kinda we disappeared a little bit from the game development scene in Latvia for like now 2 years something, and yeah, financially we were quite successful all the time, and now we have worked on some 3 projects for this period, and not just in game development, but in other, not other businesses, but something for game developers. And the time is for this presentation not enough for all the points. I would suggest, not suggest, but ask what you want to hear, because I fully didn't understood what you want to hear from this presentation, to understand, to find the context or something. So I have made 3 points to choose which one to start with. One is explain more specifically how the business and the internet and the gaming business works in Latvia. What are problems? What we have fighting with, and the second point is I could explain more how to create successful freemium based games, because that's the thing we've been doing the best, and we understand how it works. We have published other games and then have seen many that fail. That is the second point, that you should choose like the new developers that want to choose some monetization business model. And the third is I could tell more how to manage the business in Latvia, and then how to, as Andres told, how to grow it after you have some successful or just the game, and you have to grow the team, and then do other stuff. So first point was my experience and examples in Latvia, how it was done, how we did, and what were the problems. The second is advices for freemium games, and the third is how to grow the company or in Latvia or a business. So maybe you can vote. Yeah, why not? First was my experience. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, quite many. The second was the freemium model, how to make games in that and monetize. Wow, someone can please help, because they are like equal. Okay, this freemium model. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 12 or 13 or something, yes? And the first was my experience in Latvia, specific problems in the industry. The same.
Then I switch to the second one, the freemium.
To freemium?
Yeah. So now you have 1 extra vote for number 2.
Yeah, so freemium.
Okay, freemium. Yeah, it's not just about the freemium. The freemium model is the current monetization that you can use without investing large amounts of money in marketing. If you are like a startup developer or have some product, it's the best way to monetize, because the market has pushed away other types of games. Because when you see on social networks, on mobile phones, 98% of games, like in freemium, you can download for free, play for free, and just pay afterwards for something. And the content in those games just gets so good, so attractive. For example, the same Innovate guys who made the My City game. Those games are high quality, but there are so many such games. It's hard to make the same good game and sell it, because you have to invest in marketing. You have to prove that, yeah, you have to buy because this is the better than others, and this is the best, and it's like big expenses, and and still you can't have the proof that the game will go well if you will try to sell it. So people choose the freemium, and everybody does, and everyone says, we have more freemium. No, we have even more than you have freemium. We have more freemium, and yeah, that's the fight, and you can't fight in that market with the paid games. Okay, exception is if you make like AAA quality games for, I don't know, Xbox or for to sell on CDs. That's other part. But in Latvia, I don't believe that at the moment there are companies that can like invest $500,000 in one game just to try if something works out. Because the big companies invest not just like $500,000, they invest like 5 million at least to make a good game and to sell it like prepaid. So the freemium is the thing you have to do to monetize, and how to do it's Andres mentioned it too. You have to make analysis of game first. You have to not play by yourself that game, some model. Okay, you make some first model in 5 days, like, oh, you have to grow something or build something. You have to start even at the first weeks when you make the game, when you start to make, put some checkpoints, put some analytics into it, just to see what people do, what your colleagues actually do, what your friend does in game. Because you can't have analytics just by sitting next to him, and you won't understand anything, because he'll say, let's go better drink the beer. So you have to do some analytics. Nowadays, there are like really few examples for games that make success without such time investment or investment in some paid product to check something in a game, and to make decisions what to update, what to upgrade, and what to change. Of course, now it's very hard to get successful without some nice design. You have to invest at least in the design. If you don't, for example, write the songs for your game or melodies or something, at least you have to have very nice introduction screens, some nice guy in the game. Okay, you can have like simple game like Tetris, but you have to add some virtual guys, some virtual characters, something very nice. Okay, just put some cat and it will work 5 times better than just Tetris. And then the freemium model has to be added a little bit unnaturally, because if you are a good game designer, you have the great idea of game. You have to make first model like working, and then you have to ask someone else to work on that, or you have to switch your thinking to monetization, because you can't have at the same time good game and leave the monetization at the last moment. You have to experiment. You have to put some monetizations. As I told, you can check how people react. If they click even those buttons where there is the monetization stuff. But this monetization thing is that you have to have some experience with other games, and sometimes it's easier to work on that monetization part with some company, some guys, or someone who has done that before. Also, there is one other chance. There are many games that put like not small monetization payments, like, well, okay, you can pay 50 cents or €1 for something, but there are games that put like, oh, if you are addicted, they just put like, okay, you can buy extra stuff for €100. That's a little. That's harder to do, but most big successful companies do that monetization stuff on the big whales. Like they don't count on those guys that pay like €1 or €10. They work extremely just on like 1%, or sometimes it's even less than 1% paying users that pay in a month, for example, 500 or 1,000 euros. But again, that's a very risky model, because those games have to be more addictive than just the small ones that you usually play in social networks or download as freemium, as a free game on a mobile phone. On those games, you have to make like really deep content, and just those guys that are really into those games, they they play all the stuff in game, and then just they see, oh, there is like on 100th level something very cool that you can buy for 100 euros. And in this way, those like big content games, like hard content games, don't lose the easy players because they even don't see that expensive stuff. And that was the one model. And like easier one is to make some smaller money, but from 3 or 5% of players. In that model, it's a little bit easier. You have to check if you have to make users come back like for 3 days or 1 week, and in that period you can ask the guy to pay first a little payment, because in first day usually people don't pay. Like you put the game, oh, it's a very nice game, but you are stuck on the resources. You can pay 2 euros. Usually it's the same. You have to get people attracted for 1 week, and then make the content such a way that after this week or 5 days, it gets like you get stuck on some time resources or some money virtual or some experience problem. And that's the way to organize those freemium games. Mostly they are freemium games are monetizing the same way. They just put like some limits on something, because people pay for some decorations and stuff too, but mostly they get addicted and they want to build quicker, get quicker, and you run out those peoples of resources, and you count like, okay, after 5 days he will need money for a new building, or he will need money for some upgrade or for something, and yeah, then you just keep on putting new content all the time. Maybe that explanation doesn't say anything new, but one important thing is what you have to do when you launch the game. You can't leave game for any day. You can't just turn to some other projects for 1 day. You have to work with the same time, with the same at least same resources for that game to make updates, to check them daily. Andrei told too, he has the experience with those games. You have to make decisions almost every day. You have to check all the statistics every day. You have to decide what to change quickly, and you have to push updates like for once a week. That's the way how you actually get the money out of game. It's not just about launching game with the many downloads, with the big numbers of players, but you have to work on that monetization model. It's not like you will develop game with the ready monetization model and it will just go and everything will be fine. You will have to check them all the days, like even in the weekends, and because that's the only way to make the money out of them. And it's really different from those downloadable paid games. And even many companies then put more resources on that one game if they see that there are some payments that it's like with the potential, and they put more people, more developers, more designers to that game to just push the updates, new monetization mechanisms, because it doesn't stop at the game launch. That's the same for mobile games too. The only way is to put the updates, and okay, there are some games that put some advertisements in them, but usually those games don't get enough money to manage the updates and to grow the games. Okay, now I have to start to check what I have written down. Okay, maybe you had some questions about freemium, because you wanted so much me to talk about freemium.
I wanted the first one, the first topic, but what is the biggest mistake you ever made?
My biggest mistake?
Yeah, for this business, the biggest.
The mistakes. My biggest mistake was not to launch games and to do something with the publishers, with other companies, because in Latvia, most you can get is as Guntis told, 600,000 users, but that won't happen anymore. That's history. Now you can get like maximum 100,000 players without marketing expenses. Can I install here a Unity web player?
You have to ask for investment and development agency, but okay, let's do it. Yeah.
No, this is one of the projects we've invested to. Actually, there are two projects at the same screen. One is the mistakes. Yeah, mistake was not to give games and to work with other guys, because from Latvia it's nearly impossible to do anything, because you can't get investors here. Because maximum what you can get is like 20,000 euros maybe, because in former Russian countries and in Baltic states, Estonia maybe not, but here people think about money a different way. And if you ask someone 100,000 euros, he will think, I can have nice Range Rover. Why should I give this guy the money? So it's not working here. You have to go to some seed camps or anywhere, or to US, but don't try to get here investments. It's like you go against wall. It's very, very hard to do that, and it's just spending of the time. That is the most important thing what we have understood. Then there is one another thing. Don't make many small projects. Better work on one project, even if it's not very successful, but try to launch it in as many places and many markets as possible, because it's very hard to manage many games and many projects. Then you have to get many project managers, that many integration stuff and many technical stuff that supports every platform, every market. It's really hard, because to work on many projects you have to have much more people to support the games, to do anything, because even if the game is not making any money, you need a server space, you need some support, or you have to check if it's really working, if there's maybe some attack on the game, or maybe it will get full databases, etc. It's not worth it. You have to work on one product. If it shows some success, that it's not just if the game or something doesn't make you at least, I don't know, some lats. So if it's on 0, of course, then you have to change something and to move to other project. And there are many more mistakes we have made, but that would take much time to explain them all. I can afterwards make some little story. In Latvia, of course, again I will change a little bit topics. In Latvia, there are experienced programmers, experienced visual artists, but there are no game designers, as Andres told too. I think in Latvia some 5 5 or 7 guys could make nice games, to manage the project with the nice content and with nice gameplay, and manage the developers and designers. So the industry, can't. In Latvia, we can't have such industry because we don't have those specialists, and to hire someone from Russia or somewhere, it's too expensive for Latvian developers, because the price is paid here for development will be lower than you will pay to some game designer from Europe or from Russia. This is a project we haven't yet launched. Actually, this is the first time I'm showing, but the computer is a little slow. It's a Unity 3D game, and it's meant to be on smartphones and iPads. But we are developing it and testing the content and stuff in a web browser. Yeah, but doesn't want to run.
Maybe you have some screenshots.
Yeah, but that's my laptop. Oh, no, we have something. Okay, I will show on the web because it's the same on the iPad. It has some storyline. It has some animation, like the pre-story. It's about the nice hedgehog family and the bad the bad balloons that stole the stuff from the wood. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, they stole the food, and then you have to shoot the balloons with the hedgehogs. Yes, this is our first try in mobile games, and we decided to go with Unity because it's easier with the fragmentation of mobile phones. In Unity, you can make a game and it runs normally on all screen sizes, but yeah, that's pretty expensive for startups because the one working space license costs for Unity 3,000 euros, I think. Yes, something like that. It's loading the main screen. Yeah, and I don't know if we'll be successful with that, but with this game we are now communicating with some publishers too. Maybe not to launch by ourselves, but with some other guys. I think if we'll see the main screen, wow, it's very slow. For Latvian guys, this game is pretty nice. On mobile phones, it's a little more interesting. I have very upgraded guys, so it's easy to play. But that's a simple game. It's like 3D Angry Birds, actually. And then there are those paid features, which ones you maybe will use in game. But yeah, that's the type of freemium games. The quality, at least this quality, should be to do something, because even with such game, some big publishers don't want to go with. They need like higher quality, like more content and other stuff. But yes, as I said, I am not strong in the mobile market, and this is just our first try. No, I was trying to hit that balloon, and the mouse went somewhere else. And one of the mistakes, not the mistake, but we earned the money on those first games in Latvia, and one of decisions was not in the moment when we launched our games, but little afterwards. That it's very hard to do all the publishing stuff by yourself because of the languages, of technical issues, of marketing and other stuff, and of the problem that you need really huge amount of some project managers and translators and stuff to manage those games. Like if you want to publish like in Russia and Poland and Germany, we started to make a specific platform for game publishing. This is main screen. Like now it's like stylish to have the levels like this way to show. I think I have played all the levels almost. Yeah, there are 3 worlds. What else? Yeah, this is the game we want to try in mobile market, and then I'll give some review. Now I don't have like experience in this. But still, to make such game, it's not like 1 month for one programmer. It needs the investment. For example, those working places with the tablets to draw 3D objects and to draw nice ones. It's quite expensive. For example, that track game, or that car track with million downloads, it didn't have the Unity license, so it was with all the stuff of Unity. And it's not so easy to start with the 3D mobile games in the market.
He got 1 million in half a month. It's quite good.
Yes, but I will say one thing. The problem for Latvia with the monetization in mobile games is that, okay, you can easily launch a game on Android market, but you can't accept the payments from users. If you are a Latvian company, resident of the Latvia. We even tried, what we did, we thought that, okay, Google guys don't like Latvia, let's make company in Sweden, and because it was easier for us at that moment. Yes, we made such company, opened bank accounts, and etc. And what we saw was that payment windows open in SEK, Swedish crowns. We can't change to euros or dollars. Now, for example, if a guy from US opens our Android game, if we launch one, he will see like, oh, 40 some SEK. What's that? I don't want to pay 40 SEK. So, for example, to accept payments from users, for freemium payments, for example, you have to open a company in US, and that's the problem again for Latvian guys. It was the same problem for many years, for example, with the Facebook. You can launch game, but you can't get money from user payments to Latvian bank accounts. And they just changed like 1.5 years ago, or 1 year, that you can receive to PayPal. Before that, you still had to go to some Germany to open their bank account. And those rules for Latvia are, the big companies don't count Latvia and Baltic states. And they say, we don't need that market, that's a shitty one, the small one. There are no developers, actually. Why we have to do for like 5 guys? And the same problem was with for example, publishing on iPhones. For Latvian guys, it's much harder to get to pay that $100 license. We had to stay at night at the fax to wait their fax and to answer, because Krauklis bijat šeit, yeah? I don't know how you did, but when we were doing that process like 3 years ago, or I don't know how, they don't accept those $100, the license fee for 1 year to work in Apple market. They don't accept online payment. We had to write the card data on a letter to sign and to fax them. Like the Apple company didn't took the online payment. And again, it was like, we couldn't even for one period send the fax because it just didn't went to US numbers from Lat Telecom, our local company. So it's for Latvia, there are many, many problems that other guys even don't notice. We have to fight with them and not don't have less time for real game development. And what I started with that yes, we were making for those 2 years now one platform for game publishing. At the beginning, it was meant just for our own use, but 1 year ago we decided to finish it up so that we can give it to other guys. For example, this API Easy Players portal is we have made a specific social portal that includes all the features from other portals, where we can test our games, test relations between the friends. We have the environment like fake friends. You don't have to put your application in Facebook and make fake users to test what happens if one user does something, the second does something. We have prepared all that in one portal. I pressed go away. Yes, Unity isn't very optimized, but it's very easy to use it. Actually, a Unity 3D platform mostly is programmed in Lithuania, developed. In Lithuania, they have the biggest team. Yeah, and yeah, I have run out of time, but
maybe some questions.
Okay.
Because you're such an interesting person and interesting experience, so I think somebody wants to ask something. So what did you do in with this time after this firm was very successful and these 2 years?
Mostly we were making this project. This is a like tool for okay, not just making this product. We were trying to publish games from Russia, from US, some games in Baltic states. We tried to publish games from Latvian developers to Russia and to Germany and to some other countries and portals. And we understood that this is a very expensive process because for example, the translation of one game, one normal social game has 40,000 words. When you go to a translation agency or to someone, they will ask you for such translation like 4,000 or 5,000 euros, at least, yes. And it still is the problem because they don't know the game, they are not in that business, and they don't have enough resources to do that quickly. And one thing, and we understood that, and that's why we were trying to make such platform. Actually, we have invested in it in money. It's like seven amount of in euros, not in Russian rubles. rubles. And one of the things is, for example, translation. You can translate games. You can then see like afterwards what you have translated, and we can have the players. We can give the tool to some simple guys that players who are just game fans. They can translate your game because we have put together many tests and many technical stuff, and now we can translate games easier and cheaper. We can manage the projects. We can test them and for many portals, and we can even launch now games that are put through our social network. they will technically work in more than 10 other social portals. That's 10 for now, because the time that it takes to integrate properly is like... It takes much time.
But as I understand, you don't do it any much as a publisher business. You're doing games now.
It was for us too expensive to do publishing the old way. And that's why we made a kind of unique platform for that. It's like the factory. We can now put the games in, and then they come out and the result very soon in 20 portals, in different languages.
Cool. Okay, I think it was very interesting experience.
It was too much info for that time, and I didn't prepare very well.
So learn from other mistakes and give a round of applause to Mārtiņš.